where did the idea come from for you to join Singer, and how long ago?
Um, yeah, I guess it's been a topic of discussion for, a middle of last year or so, maybe even a little bit earlier. Obviously knew of Singer, just, being in the industry, being a car guy. It's, got such a great reputation. Where I was at the time, Multimatic was actually a supplier to Singer. So we were supplying them parts and carbon fiber and had done some engineering and prototype work for them. And it was the right time for me and Multimatic and for Singer. The stars just kind of aligned that it made sense to make a move and see how it could help Singer move to the next level.
What is it that drew you to Singer?
So when the first time I physically saw a Singer, and obviously I'd heard a lot about him, but it makes such a big difference when you see one in the flesh, was at Goodwood.
Hmm.
And I didn't get a chance to drive or anything like that, but just seeing the vehicle on the stand, and you and I have been in the business a while, and we kind of know what to look for relative to craftsmanship and quality. And the level of quality in that vehicle, the level of craftsmanship, the level of attention to detail, was something I hadn't seen before. And obviously, I wouldn't call myself a Porscheophile, but have tremendous respect for the 911, what Porsche has done with it over decades, and their purity of purpose in that car, and iteration after iteration. But seeing a Porsche 911 reimagined by Singer was an entirely new experience as well. And so I think the combination of those two, I was really drawn to the product. And then as I got to know the company better, as I got to know Maz Fawaz, who's now leading strategy for us, and Rob Dickinson is the founder and our executive chairman and leads design. As I got to know those guys, it was, there's definitely a camaraderie there. And it's great to be working at a place where you feel like you're working with friends. And so yeah, after a couple of dinners and more than a couple of bottles of wine, we were just able to make it work, and I joined the company in January. So really been enjoying it since then.
Did you know much about Singer before seeing that vehicle in the flesh?
I did, both learning about them, but also when we were a supplier to them, and doing some of the prototype work for them, as well as supplying some
At Multimatic.
carbon fiber to them, which Multimatic has significant carbon fiber capability and engineering and prototyping capability. And so I knew a little bit about the transition they were going to, knew a lot about their quality expectations, which are extremely high. Knew a bit about the business that they were in because of Multimatic, and that company's history building the Ford GT, building the Mercedes AMG 1. So was familiar with the transition it takes from moving from only building 10 vehicles per year, or race vehicles or high performance vehicles, and scaling that up to still a very small number by industry standards, but 200 a year or so. And that's a big difference. And it's a big transition for any company to go through. It's a big transition that Multimatic went through. And so, yeah, I knew a lot about the company, as well as I had a pretty good idea of the opportunities and challenges that they were facing.
The opportunity is that you're part of something that in the car culture world, if you know, you know, right? I mean, it, eyes light up for those who do know when you mention Singer.
Yeah.
They've got influencers and tastemakers and interesting individuals who want to acquire one. It's really a fabric of its own making, isn't it?
Yeah, the company doesn't spend $1 on paid advertising, right? So
Right.
it's all, if you know, you know. It's word of mouth. It's our customers, obviously. It's people who've seen the car at Goodwood or Monterey. And there's not that many around, right? It's very, very low volume, very exclusive, a very long order bank. We've got 3 years of orders for us to build. Um, but the reputation almost transcends that, right? What they've been able to do in reimagining the 911, the attention to detail, this mantra that, everything is important. You won't find many vehicles built to that level. And I think whether you're in the industry or whether you're a car aficionado, or if you're a Porscheophile, you'll understand what it takes to build low volume vehicles, all of that. Singer has such a great reputation that it's a great place to be.